Welcome back, Lightning Within 5 listeners. I'm your host, Jennifer Jensen, alongside
Vanessa Armenta.
Yes, it's true, everybody. This is the first episode without Alvarez, but Vanessa is a very awesome replacement. So, Vanessa, tell our listeners a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I am the Community Engagement Chief for Tyndall Air Force Base. I have been in the Panama City area for about 3 years now, here at Tyndall for going on 2. And I am married to an active duty PJ.
Yes. So when Vanessa first got here, she did not grasp the badassness of her husband, and we had to explain it to her. He's told her a million times, like, he is pretty much Captain America.
He's always been cool to me. I just never realized how cool his job was.
Yeah. But he's over at the Navy base as an instructor right now, a dive instructor, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's also pretty cool, because who can say they do that?
Yeah, no, that is a pretty fun part of his job, and I know he really enjoys it. I think more than anything, he really enjoys working in an instructor capacity. It's really cool to see him come home and talk about like interactions that he's had with students and how excited he gets when they're struggling with something that they finally get a grasp on. So he's enjoying the experience for sure.
We're going to have to get him over here. You do realize that, right?
Maybe kicking and screaming. He might be a little reluctant if I stick a camera in his face, but
he'll be fine. I'm sure he can get somebody else to come with him. Then the burden's taken off.
Yeah.
That's what I've found so far. Like, as long as there's 2 guests, people feel less stressed. And I don't know why they would feel stressed anyway. I don't feel like I make it a tense situation. Like, we're just having a conversation.
Definitely a different experience. Than sitting at my desk all day, but no, not intense. You don't make.
But it's like, I hate this. Okay, and are you going to talk about your children?
Yes, I have 3 children. They are covered in fur and all have 4 legs because they are dogs.
And tell us their names.
I have Moo, who is my oldest, Rudy and Winnie. We just adopted Winnie 2 years ago. She is a rat terrier mix, and they're a bit of a handful. They're about as much of children as we can handle right now. I feel like between the 3 of them, I have like a toddler running around. Someone's always got something in their mouth or marking up the walls or something. So
okay, so Vanessa has been in public affairs for 2 years now. It's been a glorious 2 years. I love her. She started as our official Tyndall Rebuild person. She took my old spot, and primarily we just covered rebuild, right?
Yeah, so a lot of what I do is coordinate with the staff over at the Natural Disaster Recovery Division. I would go out on these active construction sites and take photos of people working, provide updates in regards to what specific facilities will look like and their timelines as to when they'll be complete. It was great. I really enjoyed it. I loved being able to work in a more creative capacity as far as taking photos and videos, but sure. I will say I do not miss that helmet hair.
No, and the heat.
The heat.
Man, if anything was happening out on the flight line or relatively close to that side, I don't know why the flight line side of base feels like it's 1,000,000 degrees
so much
more.
Hotter. I don't understand the science behind it, but for some reason, the second you go under that underpass, it's like a 10-degree increase.
It's so bad. So Vanessa and I both know the struggles of going out trying to capture the perfect image or story, but also sweating profusely. It's not a good look. So now we both are in our own offices. She does amazing things now, and you're more focused on the community now. So tell us a little bit about that.
As much as I enjoyed covering rebuild, community engagement just aligns a little bit more with my professional and educational experience. I work with community leaders and civic leaders just to maintain the relationship between the installation and the local community. I work with the honorary commanders who partner with our squadron commanders and provide tours for local schools, ROTC groups, just trying to get them familiar with Tyndall, its mission, and how it ties into Big Air Force.
I think it's beneficial, though, that we started at Rebuild, and then you went to community engagement, and then me being media, I know exactly where I need to take all my media reporters.
Yep.
And you know exactly where to go on your tours. So
it has been a huge help, just understanding and navigating the layout of the base, because I'm sure, like everybody else, it can be stressful figuring out where everything is and what roads are closed versus what. It's something we all have a lot of experience with at this point.
Yes.
But it's very cool to be able to be a part of the history being made here. The fact that this rebuild is the largest military construction project within Department of Defense history. I find that when I bring people on for tours, they're always really interested in that fact and always want to know what facility is what. So having that rebuild background has been super beneficial.
Yeah, 100%. They all find it so fascinating, and we're like, okay, can it be over with now? We don't want to talk about it anymore. We need something new and exciting. About all the re-roading, I was at a checker flag meeting yesterday, and it was so amusing. They were trying to explain to everybody in the room, none of which are Tyndall people, right? How to get from the OG building over to the checkered flag complex.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody just looked like dumbfounded. And finally, Scotty was like, just follow my golf cart. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I honestly have a lot of respect for the ground transport drivers. They drive us around for tours, and they're navigating this space like it's no problem. Meanwhile, even with my rebuild background, I'm like, how did you know that road was closed? How did you know that was there? How to get there, that shortcut? So,
exactly.
Yeah, thank goodness for them, because I am also navigationally challenged and could not provide directions whatsoever.
So you're saying if somebody dropped you in the woods, you would just be totally clueless?
Absolutely.
Even if they like drove you into the woods?
Oh, yeah. No, I probably was on my phone the entire drive in. So.
I love that. I love that you own it. It's so good. It is late in the month. I'm so sorry, everybody, but losing Alvarez and trying to maintain my job at the same time is kind of crazy. So, how was your Valentine's Day? We're just going to backtrack. Let's talk about how was your Valentine's Day?
I am trying to remember what we did for Valentine's Day.
Wowzers.
I honestly think, not too much excitement over here. I think Valentine's Day was on a Friday this year, which we were really looking forward to initially. And then by the end of the week, both got home and we're just like, tomorrow?
Can we just nap?
Yeah. So
and say I love you?
I think we ended up calling Valentine's Day pretty early Friday night, and then woke up the next morning and kind of did like breakfast and went out to dinner and did all our Valentine's Day stuff Saturday. My husband and I are also big horror movie buffs, and so we kind of just watched all our favorite romantic themed horror movies. I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but they're out there.
They're out there. I love horror movies too. Just going out to eat and watching horror movies, that sounds like a perfect day.
Yeah, it was really relaxing.
Yeah. My husband, bless his heart, he knows I love Valentine's Day. I know it's, commercialized, whatever. I don't care. I love the hearts. I love the pink everywhere. But he knows how much I love Valentine's Day. So he always, flowers, chocolates.
Oh, I love that.
Actual Valentine's Day, though, I was in Alabama for a volleyball tournament. Yay.
So much romance. I know. I can't talk. I was asleep.
Yeah. But I love my kids, and I love watching my daughter play volleyball. I never thought I would get so into it, but I'm the parent on the sideline. I'm not like losing my mind, but I am saying things under my breath I probably shouldn't be out loud. And there's other parents right there with me. But then the judgy parents are like, oh my God, I can't believe you're acting like that.
Just proud of your kid.
Yeah, I'm passionate.
Exactly.
Like when she's doing great, I am the loudest cheering her on,
You're her biggest supporter. We're going to just get you some pom-poms and like put you on the sideline.
Yeah. Believe it or not, Vanessa, Alvarez and I get fan mail.
Oh, that's so exciting.
We talked about it last time. Our inbox is not full from it. You know what I mean? It's like a here and there. Somebody will message me on Teams or someone will shoot me an email quick. So I figured the last one we got was the day after we posted the Alvarez episode. And I know this person. I didn't put all of what was in the email. I'm not going to read all of it to you because they were very upset that Alvarez was leaving.
As we all were. Look, it was a big loss for our office. Trust me.
Yeah, it was. It was. Now this whole podcast is the Jen production. I'll just say that. Like, I'm hosting, I'm executive producing, I'm audio control. Like, it's great.
She's doing it all.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to read the appropriate context of the email. Dear Lightning Within 5, I love this podcast. You are nothing, big letters, like other Air Force podcasts. No offense, Air Force. Life is too short to listen to dry, boring people. Take notes from the Lightning crew. So now, not only are we getting fan mail, they're just delegating themselves as the Lightning crew.
You have a name for your fans now.
I know.
I love that.
I kind of feel like Lady Gaga and her little monsters or something. I love it. I'm making t-shirts.
Yes, merch soon to come.
Okay, and it continues. The fact that you aren't just interviewing the top tier of Tyndall is fantastic, and your sense of humor, ... unmatched. Thank you. I try really hard.
She's like this all the time too. Like,
Yeah.
This is what we get treated to on a daily basis in our office. You can always hear Jen laughing from her office.
And then it continues. I have 2 questions. Number 1, can you do 2 episodes a month or even weekly? Shoot me now. I can't imagine. Oh my goodness. I know. So everybody that watches or just listens to other podcasts, let's just use for an example Joe Rogan, okay? That man has an entire production team. So he has somebody on the video cameras, he's got an audio person, and he's got a producer listening in the sound booth. All that man does is walk in, sit down, talk, and leave. Jen is now lugging in a
Pelican cases, huge Pelican cases of equipment.
Lugging in 4 mics, a soundboard, video cameras, and laptops by herself, okay? And I'm doing the entire show. I love you so much for wanting more, and I sincerely hear you. I just cannot. Maybe in the summer when we get more personnel in public affairs, that is an attainable goal. But until then, I'm so sorry. You get 1 a month. Second question from the fan mail. When is the next air show? And can you live broadcast? I'd listen to that in a heartbeat. So next air show, not entirely sure. Not happening in 2025. I can safely say that. As for me, live broadcasting, I would be interested, but I would hope that y'all don't think I know what I'm talking about when I'm looking at airplanes. They all make fun of me because the last jet we had was the Raptor, the F-22. I, honest to God, can't tell the difference between, unless I'm like up close, like if I'm looking at them from the back or like a profile, I can't tell the difference between that and a 35. The only jets that I can recognize off the top of my head, and it's because I was stationed at Dias and I was the little airman going out and shooting them all the time, was the B-1 because it's a very distinct jet. It doesn't really look like anything else. And the C-130. Those are the only ones. Don't ask me a single thing about a fighter jet.
I can recognize the QF-16 because it has the orange tail, and it's the ones that we don't really use. So,
but to answer your question, I would love to live broadcast. I would love to just pick people attending the air show off the street, say, hey, come talk to me. You know, what do you think of Tyndall and what do you think of the air show? So
man on the street interview.
Yeah. So
Be
it could
cool.
be a doable thing. Will it be live? Not entirely sure. Because a lot of things can go terribly wrong.
Yeah, that's fair. Especially if you're interviewing like random members of the public.
Yeah.
You never know what people are going to say.
Yeah. Anyway, that was the fan mail. Please send it. Please send it. I don't care if you know me on a personal level. I don't care if you are a new listener. Send me some fan mail. I love reading it. And it helps me grow as a podcast host and producer. If you would like to send me any little tidbits, Jennifer Jensen 13. That's all you need to know. This month, we have probably the coolest special guest that we've ever had.
She's definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah.
As they both are.
Yeah. In honor of Valentine's Day, we will be talking to our very own Captain Ieva Bytauberg and her wonderful husband, Lieutenant Jacob Bytauberg. And they're going to discuss with us what it's like to be mill-to-mill. Vanessa and I can talk about being a military spouse. I hate the title. I hate it with a passion. I especially hate dependa.
Yep.
Because both you and I are very independent women.
Absolutely.
And we, work, we take care of the house, all that good stuff. So I feel like having the title of you're a dependa is insane. I don't like it. And I refer to myself as a veteran before a dependa. So
as you should. I mean, you did serve. So it was one of the things that, I'll be honest, I don't come from a military family. My grandfather served 20 years in the Navy and retired long before I was born. So it was just not something that I had experience with. And then meeting my husband and learning about just military community in general and finding out what dependas were was something that made me nervous because I do identify as a very independent person. And I think most military spouts can identify with the fact that there is a little bit of forced dependency, just because you're moving so frequently. Sometimes the place that you're living has a job within your field for you. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
And so there is a lot of trust that you have to put in your active duty partner to say, yeah, right now, I can't go out and make my own money, or I can't go out and pursue career opportunities because those just don't exist for me here, but trying to do what you can. I think what has really worked for me is finding community where you can, whether that is, family who can come and stay with you, or friends or other military spouses, other parents at your school, but also getting involved in local community, which is why I really love being in community engagement. I sit on a couple of nonprofit boards as well within the local community. So just really immersing myself in what the area has to offer has been very rewarding, but also a very, very welcome distraction because they travel a lot. Your spouse is gone sometimes, and sometimes you're working, sometimes you're not, but having things to turn to or people to turn to has been very helpful.
100% I agree. And I think any spouse can say the same thing. You always have, especially if you've been in it for a hot minute, you always have one base in particular where you feel like your community is your second family. I had that in Tampa when we were at MacDill, and boy, do I miss it. Boy, I missed it. I had the best time, and everybody that was in my little community was a civilian. So I didn't have to worry about them leaving or anything. They're still all there. I still go visit them. They are my second family, and I would never have met them had Jared not been active duty. So I am very thankful for all the relationships that their career, the active duty person's career, brings. I think that's so beneficial because you meet people from all over the world, all different backgrounds.
People that you might not have otherwise had the opportunity to interact with or experience.
Exactly. And okay, just for instance, and this is not to play down people that, grow up, stay in their hometown and really just don't leave, but I can't imagine doing that. Like just growing up with the same exact people and living your whole life with all those people. That seems so mundane and awful to me. I don't want to ever do that.
For me, I always knew that I wanted to explore and leave. And while I am thankful for my hometown, and I feel like growing up I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, really helped shape me into the person that I am.
Yeah.
But I always had this itch to go out and explore and see what else was out there. And that's one of the things that I do appreciate about being a military spouse. We often talk about the difficulties of moving and traveling and all of that, but there is also so much benefit to it.
Right.
Meeting people that we might not have otherwise gotten to meet, seeing places that we might have not otherwise gotten to go. Just having the ability to move and explore and not just visit communities, but really become a part of that community.
Yes.
Is something that I definitely appreciate.
Yeah, 100%. But you'll be with us for at least 1 more year, right?
Yes. So my husband actually extended so that I could apply for this position. Otherwise, we would be leaving next month.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy to think about. And we will be here up until 2026.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's as much as I do like the moving and the exploring, it's kind of nice to stay in one place. And before we were in Valdosta, Georgia, we moved apartments multiple times. We purchased a home here.
Yeah.
And we have not moved. So that I've enjoyed that part of it, that just having a consistent place to go to and call home and having the ability to kind of decorate how I want and set things up. It's been nice. But I think you really need to just find what works for you and your family. There's not like a one size fits all. This is the easiest way to be a military spouse. What works for me is not going to work for Jen. What works for Jen is not going to work for somebody else. It's just trial and error, especially initially. There were activities that I would try to get involved in when we moved to Valdosta, and I think I went to a yoga class, a free community yoga class, and I failed to realize that the yoga class was for elderly individuals, and I spent 10 minutes learning how to fall effectively so as to not break my wrist.
Stop. No, you never told me that. All right, let's wrap this banter up, Vanessa. Listeners, if you like Vanessa, let me know. Stick around and we'll be right back.
This episode of Lightning Within 5 is brought to you by the 325th Fighter Wing Public Affairs Shop. For all the latest news, photos, videos, and more, check out our Facebook page, Instagram, and our official website at tyndall.af.mil.
Welcome back, Lightning Within 5 listeners. I'm here with our very, very special guest, probably my favorite person on the entire installation, our very own Public Affairs Officer, Captain Ieva Bytauberg, and her almost as amazing husband, Lieutenant Jacob Bytauberg. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello, hello.
Hi, thanks.
So happy to be here.
How weird is it for you to be on the podcast?
It is so strange, and I want to say sorry to all the people that I have made do this, whether it's podcasts or interviews. So, to all those people, I appreciate you, and thank you for your sacrifices.
Thank you for your thanks and your recognition.
It's different being on the other side of it,
It's
isn't
so
it?
different. It's not fun.
Okay, so Ieva, you tell us a little bit about what does a PAO do? Like, they've heard what Vanessa and I do. They've heard what Alvarez does. So you explain to them what you do.
Yeah, so obviously it's going to be very different depending on if you're at the wing or at the MatchCom or at SAF PA, for example, or some of the other places that PAOs go. But pretty much what PAOs do is we provide PA support, advice, and counsel to commanders. So at the wing level, that looks like making sure that all the content that the shop produces is aligned with the commander's priorities and executing the wing's mission, right? So making sure that what the base does, what the mission is reflected in the products that come out. And I know that you guys talked about like what PA does, and I think most people think that it's content creation, so like social media or the website, but we also have a media operations section, which also aligns with those commanders' priorities, as well as community engagement, so making sure that the community that our airmen live and work in understand what the base does, why it's important, and why we're here. So that's pretty much what we do at the wing level. It's very different and dynamic day to day. If it's a boring day, it's a good day for us at Wing PA. But it's a lot of work. It's a lot of fun. But I'm ready and excited to do something else in the next couple months here.
And you already know what you're about to do, right?
Yes. So I'll be going to Hill Air Force Base in Utah, and I'll be the Director of Operations at the 2nd Audiovisual Squadron. So that is a production squadron mainly. So I'll be the DO over there. So doing very different things than I'm doing here at the wing. So I'm really excited, but also a little nervous since I've never done that before. But I'm looking forward to the opportunity to grow and to lead and just to do something different.
But you're also sad you're leaving me and Vanessa, correct?
I am extremely sad to be leaving an awesome team. No, seriously, like you guys are the highlight of any workday. It's the reason why I come to work.
Oh, thanksies.
All right, Jake, go on. Tell them what you do.
Okay, great. Well, I'm an air battle manager. I'm an instructor at the 337th Air Control Squadron. I actually started there. That was my first duty station. I started training there, and then after my training, I actually ended up sticking around and becoming an instructor, so student turned instructor cadre. And so what I'm doing is training air battle managers to be pushed out to the combat air force. Generally, it's that.
So what does an air battle manager do? Like, I don't think anybody really comprehends what the heck is going on over there. And you guys call it the doghouse, correct?
Yeah, it is the doghouse.
Yeah. So tell us what essentially their duties are. Just like generic. Imagine you're talking to a 5th grader.
There's a lot, but the name is a great starting point. Air battle manager, we manage air battles. That management comes from our ability to provide C2, which is command and control, through our robust communication systems and radar capabilities to see what's in the air and keep everyone in communication with one another. Some people compare it to air traffic control. So for you 5th grader, kind of like air traffic control, but talking to aircraft is really all that we have in common with them. We're more tactical in nature and work hand in hand with pilots throughout mission planning, as well as the air-to-air and sometimes air-to-surface engagements. And for the mission planning aspect, if you look at any mission as a jumbled mess of puzzle pieces, what we do is we bring those puzzle pieces together through our broad knowledge about military aircraft, weapons, systems, and tactics, which gives us a critical role in mission planning in order to achieve the desired effects that have been pushed down from leadership. In another way to look at it, we assist in defensive, offensive, and even humanitarian missions in another sense. And if there's a need for an air picture or communications abilities, we're usually involved.
Interesting. Like, should a deployment or even like a world conflict scenario happen, you guys are crucial to accomplishing the mission, correct?
Absolutely.
Yes.
We will be there.
And to clarify, they don't technically belong to Tyndall, like the 325th Fighter Wing. They are their own entity. What wing do you guys belong to?
It's under the 33rd Fighter Wing.
There you go. So they are one of the many, many tenant units that are stationed at Tyndall. They just don't belong to the host, who is the 325th.
That's correct.
What's the best part of your job?
Right now, it is the absolute knowledge that I've accumulated while getting trained and while training here at the Air Control Squadron. So when I leave here, I'm going to be able to bring so much, like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of training to the Combat Air Force. And
Nice.
I'm excited at the fact that I know what I know and that
Yeah.
I can bring that to the fight.
Nice.
Nerd.
I wasn't always a nerd. The Air Force made me this way.
Now that we've gotten your job explanations out of the way, let's get into why we're doing the two of you on this podcast. The focus is military couples. Vanessa and I talked about being a spouse to an active duty member and being a quote, dependa, which we discussed. We hate that title, okay? But essentially, we brought the two of you on here to discuss what it's like being mill to mill. But before we get into all the nitty gritty, how did you guys meet?
I'm going to let Jake take this one.
My perspective is better anyway.
Okay. We'll see about that.
So I'm just working out at the gym. This is in Hawaii. I was just out of high school. And I had a buddy that would work out with me. We worked out pretty much every day. So we'd go to the base gym and get our workout on. And so we'd be there for like an hour, hour and a half, just, trying to get buff. And I had no thought in my mind that I wanted to meet someone, but I saw Ieva in the gym. And she had my attention. And I was looking at her. And I was like, I want to get this girl's number. So I chickened out and decided not to. But I eventually decided to go back in, and luckily she was still there. I walked straight up to her and asked her for her number. Nothing else.
You forgot to ask for my name first,
Yes.
or say hello, or anything
So
like
it
a
was
normal
just like,
person.
What's your number?
Exactly.
No, it was, can I get your number?
Wowzers.
I didn't demand it. I asked.
Smooth.
Anyway, I had to pronounce her name correctly first, which was her condition.
And he
And-
did not say it right, but he looked
No
nice
one-
enough.
No one says it right.
So I was like, you know what? I'll give this guy a chance. So, and the rest is history.
That's
Yes.
so adorable.
That was really cute. I don't
Yep,
think I've
couple
ever
of gym
heard
rats.
the story of how you guys met.
Yeah,
So, yeah, but you joined the Air Force first,
I did. I joined back in 2016.
okay? And so that means Jake, you were a dependa.
Absolutely, for about 6 years.
6 years?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize it was that long. How was that for you? I honestly don't think I know any male dependents, so go ahead, explain.
It was good overall. It started out like I was enjoying myself. I could really do whatever I wanted, and finding a job wasn't necessarily hard for me because I could just do whatever labor job I wanted to. I enjoyed just doing physical labor. Not like that kind of sounds weird, but like
That is really weird. Who says that?
Said no one ever.
I go running regularly and I enjoy myself.
Oh,
At what
so-
time?
we heard.
At what time?
4:30?
At 4:30 in the morning.
Did you do it at 2:30 a.m. the other day? You
It was
weirdo.
3:30, okay?
Okay, that's excessive.
That doesn't make it any better.
Go back to bed, sir. Be a normal human being.
It's good for me, okay? All right, back to being a dependa. So 6 years of that, it wasn't bad because I could just pick up a job and work that job, but I didn't like that I wasn't getting compensated well. And I'm 6 years in and I know that I have nothing to really show for it. I don't have a career started. I'm not building up anywhere because I'm moving.
Right.
And I have to start fresh every time I
There's
go
no
somewhere.
career progression.
Exactly.
Yes.
So-
and we moved like every 2 years, which I know is not common, but it's really hard to start over every 2 years
Yes,
for
it
a
is.
military spouse.
Yeah.
So that was really tough on him.
Yes.
That's what drove me to finding a career that would work with my wife's career.
So when you join, I don't know how it is for officers, like her telling me about how you guys have assignment managers that are like, where would you like to go? Oh, I would be glad to help you. Whereas we have enlisted members having assignment managers and they're like, yeah, here, you're going to Ellsworth. You know, like you don't really communicate with your assignment manager when you're enlisted, but there's so many different things between officers and enlisted people that are different. So like when you joined, how do you pick what job you want to go into?
It depends. If you're going the officer route, you have a bunch of different jobs that you can pick from. Like, these are my preferences, and you'll just get put somewhere. Sometimes you'll get what you want, sometimes you won't. If you go rated, there's a smaller pool of options for you, and what you get is also largely based on how you test in certain areas on the AFOQT,
Gotcha.
as well as the TBAS. So those in combination, when it comes to the rated section, can kind of drive where you're going. So you can have an idea of where you're going, but it's still not guaranteed. So out of training, at least, that is for ROTC specific, that's where I went through, you have a better idea. So going rated, I had a good idea of where I was going based on my test scores.
Gotcha. Did you do really good or really bad?
I did relatively well.
He actually did really good for the pilot portion, but he could not be a pilot because of a medical issue. So that's what made him really competitive for RPA, which is the...
Remotely piloted aircraft.
Yes, thank you. And so I was really worried that he would get that, and that would just have limited where we can go together.
Yeah.
But he got ABM instead, which is just as limiting as I found out, but a little bit maybe more open as far as base choices.
Yeah.
So,
Have you had any assignments where you guys have been separated at this point, or?
so this is actually, so Jay commissioned in 2022.
Yeah, so
Correct.
this is my first assignment, and we were separated while I was at training. So she was still going through her AFIT program, and I commissioned, and I was getting sent for training for my first duty station, essentially. And so I had to come down here to Florida while she was still up in Maryland. And so we had that time of separation until she was able to finish her assignment and then come down with me, or go wherever else, because at that point we didn't know what was coming next.
Gotcha. And you got here early. There was a point in time where we had 2 captains, and it was glorious.
We had like 4 officers
It
in the
was
office, which
amazing.
is crazy. No, but the assignments team is really amazing. Like you mentioned, they really work with everyone to make sure that you go to a base that's good for your career, but also works for your family. So I'm really, really grateful to have an amazing assignments officer who like talks to me, asks me questions, and gets me to a place that is good for me. And I know it's not always the case for everyone, so we have been really, really lucky to have amazing people who have our back. But I mean, it also there's some sacrifices too. So like being apart for 6 months, that was not easy. It was only 6 months, but it was still hard, especially when you have a family and you have kids
Yeah.
that don't understand why daddy's not home
Yeah.
for dinner. But so far it's been good. The Air Force really works hard to make sure that dual military couples get stationed together. It actually takes a lot of signatures and approvals to separate a military family. So that's really good.
So what do you think being a mill-to-mill couple is the toughest part of being mill-to-mill?
To say the toughest part makes it kind of difficult, just especially for me, and I guess both of us, because I've only been in the active duty Air Force for coming up on 3 years now. So it's a little bit limited. I will say the first thing that comes to mind is dealing with PCSs and training. Initially, right off the bat, we had to get pulled apart. No choice. Like, I can't just ask my wife to leave her job and move with me. She has to continue doing her job. She has her own commitment to make.
Yes.
So that was like the biggest challenge up front. And even still looking forward, there's the anticipation that we may still have to get separated because I have to go through other trainings that can't be at our next duty station.
Yeah.
So really it is having to be pulled apart and not having a way to not do that. Like, we have to do it.
Yeah.
We don't have a choice to not be to not be apart.
Total sense. And then, talking about the separation point of it. So if one of you deploys, then the other one, hopefully their commander understands that, hey, my spouse is active duty. Like, I have to step in and be the single parent now. I hope you understand. Like, you guys haven't gone through that yet, right?
No, we haven't.
Yeah.
But with the new African cycle, I'm not sure how that's going to work for dual military couples. So if you happen to be on the same cycle together, you could potentially get deployed together, which wouldn't be easy. But I think that's where having a good support system really comes in. And so if you're lucky enough to be stationed near family or have family that come and help out, that's really helpful. Or if you have friends, things like that. But that would be really, really tough if both of us had to get deployed at the same time, and then we have no one to care for our kids.
I think that is the worst part of military life in general, is the long durations of time of absence. Yes.
Yeah, for my spouse and I, the first 12 years of our marriage, we were separated 8. So it was a very interesting experience. It was my first introduction to being married to someone in the military. You learn how to navigate through that separation. You learn what works for you. It's not enjoyable. My preference is to always have my spouse home, but there are some perks. When he goes on those shorter TDYs, the first thing I do is turn that thermostat all the way up, or sleep in the middle of the bed. So you got to find the silver lining to things. That's something that I try to do that kind of helps make the separation a little more bearable. It's never enjoyable, but bearable.
Right. And like, it's not for a long time, right? So even if it's a deployment for a year or 6 months, that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. That you will get through it. You'll come out of it stronger, hopefully.
What do you think is the best part of being mill-to-mill?
I think for me, the best part is probably having a spouse that really understands what the job means, why it's important, and why I may need to be gone, whether it's TDY or deployments or have a super late day at the office or go in on a Saturday. I think that makes it a little bit easier. I don't have to justify what I do. You already understand why I do what I do and why it's important.
That's a good one. I will just add that the stability that I feel knowing that we both have guaranteed careers, as guaranteed as things can get, I feel like. And it gives a lot of comfort knowing that my kids will be taken care of, that we're taking good care of our kids. Like, we don't have any uncertainties, really. Of course, we just talked about PCSs, those kind of uncertainties, but as long as we go with the flow, there's nothing that's going to really harm our family.
Yeah, I think that's just like the benefit of serving on active duty is, yes, there are some things that you give up, like moving often and not being close to your family, but there's a lot of positives. Like you have a stable income, you have a lot of benefits, educational, health, things like that. Like I'm able to pass down my GI Bill to my son. So I know that if he wants to go to college, like that will be taken care of. He won't have to struggle like I did, having to work 3 jobs while also doing ROTC and going to school. So that is really comforting to know that they have a future set up for them if they want to take it.
Yeah.
Another thing to keep in mind is the fact that we both do have these careers that we can take to till 20 or beyond if we want to. If one of us gets into a situation where we need to leave the Air Force, we're not left with nothing.
Right.
We still have a stable career, so we have that flexibility so we can support each other. So it goes back to what Ieva was saying about being able to understand what each other are going through, and we can also support each other. So if we have any extreme needs that we need to support, we're there for each other.
Oh, you guys are so adorable. I can't even. Since you've been in this for a while, I'll probably ask this to Ieva. What's one thing that you wish would be different in mill-to-mill world?
I don't know if I can point out anything that I wish was different, but what I wish that every mill-to-mill couple experienced was really supportive leadership, because that is something that I've always had, and I don't take that for granted because I know that not everyone has that experience. But having leaders that are there for you to advocate for you, they care about you and how you're doing, really makes a difference. It's the difference between staying in and getting out to me. So having really supportive leadership is so important. And I've been so lucky to have that throughout my entire career.
What's the biggest piece of advice that you would give, let's say, a young mill-to-mill couple?
I mean, we are a young mill-to-mill couple. What are you implying?
Stop it. Stop, you millennials. Stop. I
still
mean,
young.
like a 20-year-old
Okay.
that just got married to another mill.
I think I would say just be flexible, and have a really, really good conversation with your spouse about, like, what are your career goals? What do you want to achieve while you're on active duty? And have a good understanding of that. And then also have that conversation with your leadership so they're tracking as well, so they can advocate for you to go to X location, X base, whatever. But I think that's really helpful, is just knowing what your goals are, because you may have to sacrifice maybe going to a location that doesn't have the best job for your career progression, but it keeps you together.
Yeah.
So I think just knowing that is really helpful. And then Jake, whatever you want to add.
Yeah, I was going to talk about just the fact that you need to be communicating with leadership. Absolutely. Just going to second that. It's not too terribly often that you get dual mill. It does happen. So we have processes in place, and we have people that understand our, like, this kind of situation. And so you have people looking out for you, but it doesn't happen so often that it's a norm. So it could get overlooked. So make sure you're communicating and advocating for yourself and your family to make sure that you do get what you need. And so that it's not too late, and then there's flail at the end trying to make something work that should have been easy had it been communicated early on. So early communication and often communication is very important when it comes to getting what you need as a family, as a dual mill.
Why did you join the Air Force?
Go for it, Ieva.
So I grew up as a military child. So my dad was in the Air Force. He retired at 24 years. So that was always kind of in the back of my head as an option, but I didn't really decide to join until I was a sophomore in college. And mostly because I realized that it's tough out there. Life is tough.
Yeah,
and why not try the military? And also too, growing up, I got to live in a lot of really cool countries and leave my home state and really see the world and get a different perspective. And so it felt like a good way to kind of give back for all the things that I got as a dependent. But it was also job security and some of the benefits that come with that. So when I was a sophomore in college, I decided to join ROTC, and I did that for 3 years and then commissioned.
Nice.
Did you always have PA in mind, or did you have a different career field when you set out?
So actually, the first job that I got offered, which I got offered 2 jobs, which is not really common as a cadet. Usually you just get what you get. But they gave me the option between ABM and PA. So I had 15 minutes to decide if I want to be an ABM,
goodness.
right? So I called my dad. I was like, hey, what is an ABM? I have no clue what they do. And he kind of explained it, and I was like, that sounds terrible. I cannot do that.
It really does. Like, I know Jake just explained it, but it sounds awful.
Yeah, and like, I don't like talking on radios and like, or whatever.
As you're on the podcast.
Exactly. This is not my forte. And I was like, you know what? PA seems awesome. And I was a journalism major. So I'm like, that's, in my wheelhouse. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do PA. So that was it.
Well, for me, it's a bit more basic, I guess. It was kind of wanted a good job, and I was just thinking what actually works with the military. And we knew actually a couple of families that were dual mill, and having seen their experience, I had a positive idea of what it would look like if we gave it a shot. And I knew that the Air Force would be a great career. So that's what drove me to it. It was really trying to find a career and seeing that it was a great way to go. So I pushed that direction and decided to go officer, of course, because Ieva's an officer.
I joined the Air Force because I was terrified of being stuck in my hometown the rest of my life, like 90% of the other graduates that were there, or at least that state, right? But also, I didn't want to burden my parents for my college education. So I wanted to earn it myself. So that's what I did.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And those were literally the only two reasons. All right, Team Bytauberg. Thank you so much for being my guest. I know it's weird being on that side. Maybe not for you, Jake, but for Ieva, I know it is. We don't want you to leave, but thank you for being on podcast.
Of course. And honestly, like I usually don't look at people in the face when I talk to them. So it is still a little bit weird.
Thank you for having us.
Over the radio.